Hey guys, take 2 for our Bob Ross video. As soon as you join, please throw me some comments and some hearts so I know that this is working. I'm sorry about the technology issues. So we were just getting started, just putting some paint on our palette here. So let's keep doing that while people join us. I'm gonna do a little bit of red as well. I think we're gonna stick mostly to these colors. So I see a few people are joining on. Please throw me a comment, throw me some hearts so that I know that this is working this time. I'm not sure. Let me see if I comment, maybe that will help. I feel like I've had this problem every other video. And I'm not sure if it's a Wi-Fi issue. Awesome. Becky, thank you for joining again. Hey Terry, can you guys throw me some comments real quick so that I know that it's working? I can see my comments. I'm hoping that that means I'll be able to see other comments. So I'm just going to keep going. We made a fun little palette here. I've got some tools. The primary tools that I'm working with today, just to reiterate, are these guys, the pointy and the round. Becky says I have a couple comments. All right, guys, I cannot see comments. I have no idea why. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to keep going. Please keep commenting. I love it. Please tag your friends. Tell them that we're playing Bob Ross. Throw me all of your favorite Bob Ross quotes or moments. Tell me why you don't like Bob Ross, because I know there are several artists out there that do not agree or do not like Bob Ross. So throw me what you like, what you don't like. We're just going to play. Awesome. So, I've got a nice board set up here. This is just a standard cake board. You can do this on a cake, probably, if it works. I don't know. We're going to play today and find out if this works, if this technique can be translated by doing Bob Ross style. We got my super fun giant palette here. So, I'm going to start myself off with a pointy spatula. I like the pointy ones. And I'm going to start by doing some, let's see, I'm going to do water, I'm going to do mountain, trees, little happy trees, got to have some sky. Okay, we'll start with sky. I forgot to put white on my palette. We know we're going to need some sky. So, the thing I've learned from watching Bob Ross is he starts in the background and he works his way towards you. So like sky, water, mountains, trees, like you're gonna build the layers. So I'm gonna start by making a sky. So I'm gonna take some white, I feel so official, and some blue, and we'll make like a softer, prettier sky blue here. And I'm gonna go a little bit softer. I'm going to try and make my palette fun and playful, but still keep it in the realm of like natural colors. Alright, so this doesn't have to be purple perfectly. Wow, that's a perfect word to not be able to say. This doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. It can be a little bit marbled, kind of like your sky would be. And I might not be able to hold this. Let's move some stuff around. Make this perfect. Got my sandy bucket, get you out of the way. All right. So, let's start with our sky and see what happens. All right. I feel like I need to hold this, so I'm just gonna pull this guy in. And what I would do this on a cake that was iced white, and I would just start that way. And I'm just going to go both ways. And if you did this on a cold cake, you would get all this breaking just like this. So this is pretty natural. I'm kind of loving it. kind of naturally have clouds and that detailing in there. So if you ice your cake white and make it cold, stick it in the freezer for 20 minutes, and you do this, you'll get the same exact effect. And you can just kind of layer some stuff on there. And you can take more off. Alright, so I'm going to do water as well. And I'm just going to start with the... Do I want to start with the same color? Let's add a little bit more and a little brown. I want to make it just a little bit dirty. It's going to be a dirty pond. Because Bob Ross said I can do whatever I want. Happy accidents. Alright, so we have just a little bit darker of a color. I'm going to do the water. And I want the water to be a little bit thicker. And I want to have some reflection here. So I'm going to keep this part white, and I'm just going to pull the colors in. And I don't want those colors to meet, so that will be the reflection of the sun. Grab the credit card. One of those cards will take this a little bit faster. I'm using all my color. Oh my goodness. Alright, you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Are you liking it? Is it working? Throw me some hearts. If you have faith. Alright. I just want to pull this in a little bit closer. Where we can just feather this. I just keep pulling, keep playing. I do want these to meet up here somewhere. Does anyone paint? Does anyone do, like, does anyone paint? Oils, pastels, waters? What kind of art do you like to do? Do you play with Bob Ross style? Did you watch Bob Ross? I remember when I watched Bob Ross. Did you not watch Bob Ross? That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. Alright, cool. I'm liking this. I gotta get my seam a little bit closer. I'm just mixing a little bit of my blue with some more white here. And I'm gonna get this a little bit closer up here. Alright, I'm liking this. So you want your line on your horizon to be really straight, because that's going to look more natural. But all this stuff doesn't have to be. You just want this line to be pretty straight. Alright guys, let me mix a little bit more. I want to fill this in so I have more of that sky. And again, this can be kind of marbly. It doesn't have to be perfectly colored. Bob Ross can do a painting like this in half an hour. How long will it take, Megan? So much longer. So I have played, not recently, with the Bob Ross style. I'd like watch his videos and I'd pause it and I'd try to paint when he painted and then I'd play it again and then I'd try and copy it again, and man, it takes forever. Okay, I like this. I feel like I have a little bit too much here. Pull this guy in a little bit more. Got this fun. So now I want to, how do I do this without a paintbrush? Let's see if the paintbrush works. Alright, so just a nice bristly paintbrush. And I'm just going to blend. Totally works! Barely touching it. Okay, this is cool. Barely touching it, so just like the bristles, the ends of the bristles. Okay, that's cool. I'm losing everything in here. I love it. I'm not going to do that to the sky because I feel like it looks like cloudy and I like that. But this definitely made this water look more reflective. Okay, that's exciting. Somebody needs to order a cake like this so that I can play on the cake. All right, cool guys. So we have something happening actually. And I so wish I could see your comments so that we could have a conversation. I miss you guys tonight. But we're gonna make something fun and then I will jump on and we'll chat later. Okay, so I've got this. I want to keep this dry. I can't really beat the devil out of it like Bob Ross, but I'm just gonna leave you right there for later. Okay, so I want to stick a mountain in here. I want them to be purpley. Let's take my watercolor and my sky, and I will just hide you over there. And I'm gonna take some purple and some black and some blue, and let's see what this makes. I wanted to make it really dark and purpley, but I want it to still be somewhat of a realistic color, not like a Crayola crayon box color. Some more black. We're gonna need more than that. I think I need more pink on my palette anyway. Okay, that looks like enough. And I'm going to mix this a little bit better than I was mixing the sky. I don't want it to be as marbly, but a little bit of that difference is nice. It adds some natural like highlighting for you, just like when you're painting. If every color is perfectly flat, then it doesn't look as natural. So it has this really nice, deep purpley, I like it, deep eggplant. All right, so I'm gonna do just like Bob Ross. I'm gonna cut. I've got that big old roll of buttercream on here. And I'm just gonna, it's just gonna happen. It's just the Bob Ross takeover. All right, that's a mountain, guys. It's on there now. So I just kind of mushed the frame on and I'm gonna keep going. I hope you guys are loving this. It's terrifying. I forgot how nerve-wracking, like, making the first, let's give him a little friend. In true spirit of Bob Ross. He needs a friend. All right, I'm gonna pull this stuff down. So you could do this just over buttercream, just like we have it on here. Let's see. So I have it where it's thinner and you have some of that white showing through. I like that. I feel like it adds like more natural highlighting. All right, let's give you some more little. So the other thing I like about this is we can add like texture in here. So we have layers and I love it. And I love this purple. So I don't want to take all that away, but I do want it to be a little bit less precise looking. All right, and I kept it kind of on the water line, and we'll make some reflecty guys in there if I can. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna make some, no, not like this. It's too neat. Mountains aren't gonna be neat. Maybe some are. My mountains aren't gonna be neat. Okay, so he's got some mountain friends. Let's make a highlight color. So I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna take just a little bit of it. Hello. softer version of that same color. I'm gonna drag it out, it's pretty. And we'll just cut a little roll. Alright, so I'm just gonna do highlights. So my sun's coming from here. This is where my reflection is. So I want to keep in mind this side of the mountains is going to have light and this side of the mountains is going to be shadowed. So I'm going to just drag very gently over the top. That's too much. And give some highlights. And that's too much, but we can fix it. If I stuck my cake in the cooler in between these, this would be much easier, but you don't have to. Okay, so I made it look very choppy, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I could totally just leave it. I do want to take that little guy off, but I want to pull some of this down. All right, and then we can add some shadow as well. So I've got my light mountain color, my dark mountain color. Hang on, put back this way. So I'm gonna take some of my dark color and lots more black. And pull my palette properly. And we'll just make this even darker, and that can be my shadow color. So it's not quite black, but it's really close. You could use black, but I feel like if you go a little bit, if you blend the colors you're using and make the shadow color, it just automatically looks more natural without you having to worry about blending or anything like that. So I have some mountains. I want to make a reflection of the mountains. Ooh, man, time is flying by. So the way Bob Ross does it, let's see if we can mimic that. He pulls the paint down into the water and then goes back and forth. So I'm going to use this to pull just a tiny bit of the buttercream down, and then I'm going to use my brush to see if I can make it look reflecty. So this is either going to work or it's going to be a horrible disaster. So you know what? You guys comment, even though I can't see it. Comment. Tell me, is it going to work? Is it going to be a disaster? I don't know. I think it could work. I don't know if I can get it to work. Is it going to work? Is it going to be a disaster? All right, here goes. I'm just going to pull very little of it down. Straight down. And where it's taller, I want to go a little bit further with it, but I'm not going to worry as much about that out of fear because I'm afraid. Just want to keep a straight line as much as I can. Let's see if I can pull it. I think that actually looks pretty good so far. Okay. Better than I thought it was going to work out. Pull some of my extra off of here. So I've got a little bit extra on here. Alright, now let's see if I can make it look like a reflection. I'm going to be careful not to go past because I don't want to mess that up. But, oh my god, I think it's working. It's a little muddy and messy, but it does kind of work. It kind of works. That's exciting. Okay. just barely touching it with this brush. Okay, that's cool. Make sure I don't have any mountain purple on here. Okay guys, time for some happy trees. I have no land except for my mountains, so I need to make some land. I'm gonna make a cutout of land here with my brown. And let's do some green. We're gonna make it like swampy. We talked about the water being a little bit mucky. There's a little purple on here. If that gets in here, that's fine. Alright, so let's see. My land is going to do this because that's what's happening. That's where the land goes. It goes where Bob Ross tells it to go. This is really fun. Oops. Let's see. I don't know what's happening here, but it's land. Look, it's a little peninsula. Or just where you're standing when you're taking this beautiful photo. Or whatever you're doing. Why are you standing? I don't know. It looks kind of like a dog laying down. There's his head, his mouth, his little face, his little tail. Alright, so this is my little dog island. Let's clean this up. So I want to make some shrubby stuff. So I need some green. Okay, so one of my trees can be here, and I have some trees coming kind of off, and then I gotta do something with that. And I gotta put my horizon, my water lines. Okay, I got a lot to do. Let's see, green. I'm gonna need a lot of green, so let's just, here are all of it now. This is very limey, so I'm gonna take some orange. Thank you, Becky. I'm gonna take some orange I've got over here in my bowl. And I'm gonna make this a really mossy green by mixing this orange in here. I like it. It's kind of a yucky, mossy, swampy green. Buttercream really does work like paint. It's not going to dry, so you're not going to have that same effect, and it's not going to blend the same way, but you can mix colors the same way. And you can use a giant palette. It's just very awkward. Okay, let's see if Bob Ross's brush technique works. This is where I don't think it's going to work, but you know what? I was so excited to be wrong earlier, so let's find out if I'm wrong again. So Bob Ross puts it on the thing and then but I don't know if that's gonna work. So let's find out. I'm gonna have to load this with a ton. I just don't think it's gonna do the same thing, but it just might. It just might be exactly the same. Bob Ross could be the newest, most amazing cake decorator if he was still around. Alright, so I'm gonna put some shrubs in here. I want to leave some of the brown. I want some background color for depth. Alright, so that's what I was afraid of. It's gonna pull whatever I have on there and mix it. So what it can do, nope, that's too much. Pull it a little bit thinner. And just cover up that. Sorry. Sorry, Bob. Not gonna work. He just puts the chocolate on here. Okay. Super fun idea. Not gonna work. So, other idea. We can do some piping. Do cake decorating technique. I'm gonna put some of the green in this bag. I'll put a little bit of the brighter green right behind it. Maybe I should do some rocks in the water. Alright, so I got my parchment bag loaded here. Let's clean up this mess I just made. Not super worried about it. Just gonna paint over it so it doesn't matter. But I do want to fill in this blue spot. So I used to watch a lot of Mr. Rogers, pop-up video. I used to watch a lot of pop-up videos on VH1 back when they played music videos on TV. And what else? Reading Rainbow. Anything cooking related. Okay, so I'm gonna do a straight cut on this so that I can make some little bushes. And I'm just going to kind of roughly squeeze and let bushes naturally happen. You're a bush now. And I don't want them to be round. And I don't want them to have straight lines. I want them to be kind of wild and unmanaged, ungroomed. Which is great because it makes it super easy to do if you don't overthink it. We're gonna leave a little break there. That's a little path where someone walks down into the water. A little deer path where animals like to come and drink. Maybe there's another one up here and this gets broken into. So I have those two different colors in here, so as I'm doing this, this color's changing just a little bit. So I can go back over some spots and have that depth of color that I really like. So we're kind of wild and crazy here. I don't have much depth of field here at all, because one, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's very flat compared to the rest of this, but that's okay. We'll put some trees in there. The other thing that I always saw Bob Ross doing was cutting, so let's do that. And we're going to cut some little twigs and such in here. Maybe I'm being a little too aggressive, but make sure they're going whatever way they want to go. I don't know what I'm doing. I kind of like it. So it just adds something. And then we're going to put a big tree right there. So my tree is going to come up here. I'm going to make a like birch tree type tree trunk. Have maybe two of them. Maybe another one. I don't know. And then the other thing he would do is cut the water line. Right. Cut the water line. cut around land, but I don't really have that. Messy, but it works. Okay, cool. I'll have to see what this looks like for you guys. Messy, but it works. Alright, cool. So let's throw some trees in there. I'm going to use more brown. We gotta do those happy trees. Brown, black. We're gonna make some birch tree bark. So I'm gonna make it kind of dark, and then I'm gonna highlight it with some white. So I got my black and my brown here. And again, I'm not worried about mixing it perfectly because that's gonna give it some more life. All right, so I'm going to. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Let's stick one right here. Gotta get that out of the way first. This is definitely easier with paint. Way. Alright, so it's kind of happening. This tree is not going to be straight. And neither is this one. That might be a little too bad of a base. I can always put some shrubs in there and put it around that. Are you working? I'm working. Let's make you too. There, look, you have a waist. Alright, cool. So we have some very gnarly tree trunks here. But you know what? They're gnarly. That's fine. They're just some gnarly trees. It's really windy out here. They've been hanging on. Let's cut you right there. It's hard not to make them super wide. It's not what I wanted to do, but they're gonna be wide. They look more like palm trees. Maybe they are. I don't know what they are, but we'll find out. Alright guys, for the green, what I'm gonna do, maybe I can't, let's turn them into palm trees. I think that's super fun. So take some white and mix it with that brown to give me like a very soft gray brown color, and I'm just going to, sun is coming from here, so you're going to be shaded by your own leaves. So I'm going to give you some highlighting. A little bit of just true white to give it those really bright spots. Just barely touching it. It really, the buttercream really sticks to the buttercream, so it doesn't take much to so we have some gnarly palm trees. Let's make, alright, so I got my limey green here. I'm gonna take a little bit of blue and see what happens. I don't want it to be like teal, but I want it to just be a little bit tropically. Oh, I like that. Alright, got that. And I've got this really mossy color. So my tropical mossy, I just put some of that mossy color on the side of the bag, and I'm going to put this color in the inside of it as well. And then I'll have a little variation in my petals. Not petals, leaves. We're going to make these palm trees. Purple mountains and palm trees. I'm sure that's somewhere. I need more experience in the world. Alright, so I'm going to cut this into a point. And then we're going to make something. This guy's going to be in front of this guy. I feel like this is in true Bob Ross style, as far as just kind of let it come to life. I love my water and my sky and my mountain. My land and my trees need some help, but I think with some practice I could totally make this a real thing. I just need to figure out how to make dimension on the land. Any tips on that would be awesome. I feel like I've got nice dimension and then this became really flat and cartoony. So throw me your ideas, those of you who are artists or just creative or like Bob Ross and know his secret. Let me know what you think. On this crazy painting. So I think we're done, guys. I definitely want to play with that. I think the mountains and the water turned out decent. I think that's super fun. I love the reflection. I think that totally worked. I think the sky works. This stuff needs some help. My colors are a little brighter and maybe that's part of the problem, but I love it. I hope you had fun. Thanks so much for watching. This is Megan Ritz with Classic Cakes for Tutorial Tuesday. I'll see you next week.